Have you ever pondered the paradox of a world riddled with sin, yet presided over by a loving and benevolent God? This apparent contradiction has been a subject of contemplation since time immemorial. Today, we delve into the biblical perspective on this matter. In the beginning, according to the book of Genesis, God created man in his own image, instilling in him free will, the power to choose. It is this very gift of choice that gave birth to sin. When Adam and Eve, the first humans, chose to disobey God's command in the Garden of Eden, sin entered the world. But why does sin seem to be on the rise today? To answer this, we turn to the words of the Apostle Paul in the book of Romans. Paul explains that where sin increased, grace increased all the more. This means that as humans continue to exercise their free will and often choose wrong over right, God's grace and mercy also increase. However, this is not an excuse for humanity to continue in sin, expecting grace to abound. The Apostle Peter, in his second letter, warns that the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar, the elements will be destroyed by fire, and the earth and everything in it will be laid bare. This is a clear indication that sin has consequences, and though God is good, his justice will prevail. The book of Revelation also speaks of a time when sin will reach its peak, and God will intervene to restore righteousness. This is referred to as the end times, a period characterized by increased sin, but also a time when God's justice will be fully revealed. So even though we live in a world where sin seems to be increasing, this is not outside of God's plan or beyond his control. God's goodness is not negated by the presence of sin, but rather it is magnified. His grace and mercy continue to abound, offering hope and redemption to a fallen world. To summarize, the paradox of increasing sin and a good God can be understood in three key points. Firstly, sin entered the world through the free will given to humans, and it continues to increase as individuals exercise this free will. Secondly, where sin increases, God's grace also increases, offering hope and redemption to humanity. Finally, though God is good, his justice will prevail. There will come a time when God will intervene to restore righteousness, as prophesied in the book of Revelation. Remember, understanding these truths can bring peace and hope in a world that often seems overwhelmed by sin. As we navigate our journey of faith, let us hold fast to the knowledge of God's goodness, his abundant grace, and his ultimate justice.